Alright everyone, I'm going to try to show you a video right now on Corundum and rough Corundum. It's too much for me sometimes to look up videos and try to find one that really hits on the subject, because there really are none. Everybody you see on YouTube or on, I'm not even going to say Facebook, but I'm just saying like just internet searching, they still give you the same pictures of the same stones, and it gets frustrating because most of the stuff is cut already. Most of the stuff, it's been years since people have found good stuff that hasn't been uncovered recently, because that doesn't go into circulation. It's all within tight groups of people, and this stuff doesn't escape those loops. So for me to be doing this right now is kind of crazy, because I was fortunate enough to find this stuff, and not out in the out in the world searching mountains and stuff like that, but just in an estate sale, and I got them for $1 a pound. And what's crazy is there's not a pound here, but it was a overall search for rocks, whatever you find, $1 a pound of rocks, bring it back, we weigh it out, and there you go. It doesn't matter what you found, just basically weigh it out, $1 rocks. And so you go to some of these places and never really get fooled by the big stuff, because most of the time when you hear $1 a pound, the first thing is there's going to be a lot of rock. There's going to be so much rock that you're going to be able to fill the bed of your truck, and you'll be paying the lady $300, $400, $500 for a few boulders. And of course there's always those nice quartz crystals and nice fully developed crystals and all the stuff that's on the matrix still, which would be like the host rock where the other little crystals are popping out of it. All kinds of cool stuff you find at these rock sales and in estate sales and all kinds of stuff. But what's funny is those are the pieces that everybody flocks to first, and then everybody decides on whether they want it, they don't want it, how many rocks can they take, blah blah blah. And really they're overlooking all the small little pieces on the floor. Now me, $1 a pound, you know how many carats you can get for $1 a pound? So at that point, forget the pounds, I'm looking for carats. And that's what's crazy, is you find these places like little back areas where the saws were being used at one point, or at, like, say this specific case, I found all of these at one location, and it was an estate sale, and the guy passed away, his family was selling the stuff, and they really didn't care, and it was $1 a pound. So what's funny is I go to the area, I found this saw in the back, and I'm like, hey, well, he was probably a jeweler, he's probably working with all this stuff, he has these rocks for a reason, right? So I went back there, checked it all out, and I'm kind of like looking on the floor, and I'm seeing a bunch of little fire agates and stuff like that laying around, and I'm like, whoa, like, really? Like, what the heck? And I'm telling everybody, like, hey, look at all these little fire agates and stuff, and you know what's funny? Everybody overlooked them. Nobody freaking gave them the time of day. So I collected all of them. I collected all those little pieces and just put them in a little pile or whatever. And then I'm like searching, kicking up the dirt, just looking for little pieces under the dirt. And there's like boulders around me. I could have been picking up big pieces of whatever the heck I wanted. Jaspers, agates, everything. But no, I'm just kicking over here some little dirt. Everybody's like wondering why I'm over there doing something. And sure as hell enough, I start coming across little gemstones. Things that this guy had used, cut, dropped, anything in his lifetime that he had at his workstation, and it fell off there and didn't get thrown into the yard like all the other stuff. And that's how I came up on all my stuff. That's how I came up on most of the stuff that you see today. Now, what's funny is Corundum and stuff like this, it doesn't cab well like other stones. Like this is a cab when it's a domed, rounded piece. This is my Montana agate. And here's another example of like the little jade I do. little buttons. And so what happens is usually just a simple design, you know, nothing too crazy, a cab. But this stuff, I don't necessarily like the cabinet because it's too damn hard. This is a star sapphire. You can tell how it's fully developed almost. It has a full rind on it. Nice developed center in it. Its full shape, I'm not sure. I think it's a 6-sided shape. That's a full corundum crystal shape. So that's what corundum is. I have an example of like longer pieces, sapphire and stuff like that. But what's crazy is, say, like when I cab it up, it comes out like foggy. It doesn't necessarily even if you don't have the right grit, it won't necessarily even polish up right. It'll look all gross and like ill. It doesn't look good. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for the pieces that I actually want to facet. And what you're looking for are these areas where the blue is rich, that there's tight crystal patterns inside of it where they meet and aren't so undeveloped. That's really what I'm aiming for on most of these. And that's even looking up rough online, all that other stuff that you try to find. What is a good quality? What are you looking for necessarily? And of course, you're looking for a bit of transparency with the ability to say, well, does it have areas where I can see full color, and how deep does that color go, and how dense does that color go? And this right here on the side, there's a very, very blue spot on this side right here. Now, I don't know if you can see it on it, but if I dug into this crystal, there would be really nice sky blue in the center of this sapphire. Now, the outside of it would be a lot milkier, but if I got into the center of that, I'm almost sure it'll be like a glassier, tighter pattern, just because it's been way more well developed. And so that's pretty much my story of how I find the stuff. Most gemstones have patterns. Most little things that you can find, definitely have distinctive patterns. This stuff, you just got to be lucky with it. Look for the smaller stuff. Don't be scared to like dig in the dirt. Like, who the hell cares? Like, at the end of the day, like, you're gonna be the one laughing because what did they find? Nothing. And so, yeah, they got a bunch of cool stuff. I'm sure that when everybody left that place, everybody was happy, but it's just never, ever, ever take for granted the smaller things in life, because those are the biggest things, at the end of the day. So that's really my whole thing on it. Corundum crystals, and I mean, you don't get to see them very often, and it's really weird. It's really weird. Alright, I'll see you later.